मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, आज मैं थ्योरी ऑफ फेल्योर, जो कि मशीन डिजाइन का एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है। हालांकि इसको आपने स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल में भी पढ़ा होगा, लेकिन यहाँ पर इसका एस्पेक्ट थोड़ा सा मशीन डिजाइन पे है। हालांकि दोनों सेम है, ऑलमोस्ट पूरी तरह से सेम। देर आर जो है 5 थ्योरीज ऑफ फेल्योर, जो आपने स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल में पढ़ा था, उसी को हम डिस्कस करेंगे यहाँ पे। मशीन डिजाइन इज एन एलिमेंट, है ना, इट हैज टू बी सेड टू बी फेल्ड। ये फेल कब कहते हैं? जब कोई पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन वह परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रहा हो। फंक्शन दैट मीन्स कि वो आपके हिसाब से नहीं होगा, एज पर देयर स्पेसिफिकेशन। देयर आर बेसिकली टू काइंड ऑफ मैकेनिकल फेल्योर, वन इज द यील्डिंग, another is fracture. Yielding comes under the elastic deformation, ductile material, and fracture comes under the brittle material. When a machine element is subjected to a system of complex stress, that means more than two stress or more than one stress, sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, it is important to predict the mode of failure so that the design methodology may be based on particular failure criteria. When a mechanical engineer is faced with the problem of design using a specific material, it becomes important to place an upper limit and lower limit so that the material will be, it will not fail. जब आप थोड़ा सा और गहराई में सोचेंगे, तो बेसिकली डक्टाइल एंड ब्रिटल मटेरियल में देयर इज नो एनी काइंड ऑफ शार्प डिमार्केशन, है ना। हाउएवर ए रफ गाइडलाइन इज दैट इफ परसेंटेज इलोंगेशन is less than 5%, then the material will be treated as brittle, and if it is more than 15%, then it is called ductile. However, there are many instances when a ductile material may fail by fracture. This may occur if a material is subjected to cyclic loading like fatigue, long-term static loading at elevated temperature, that is called creep, impact loading, sudden load, work hardening, severe quenching, and yielding and fracture can be visualized in a typical tensile test and shown in the clipping. These are the stress strain diagram that we have already discussed. This is the stress strain diagram material. There are so many theory of failure, but our syllabus point of view, there are 5 important theory of failure. One is maximum shear stress theory for ductile material. It is also called Guest and Tresca theory. Maximum principal stress Rankine theory. Maximum normal strain theory, also called Saint Venant theory. Maximum shear strain or distortion energy theory. Last one is maximum total strain energy theory, that is. Now comes to the maximum shear stress theory for the ductile material. It states that a member subjected to any kind of stress, when the maximum shearing stress in the member becomes equal to the yield point stress in a simple tension or compression, then material gets failure. Maximum shear stress in a material under uniaxial stress condition is one half of the average stress, or you can say maximum stress, that is. In case of biaxial stress, we have already discussed in principal stress, tau max is sigma max minus sigma mean upon 2, or we can say sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. Tau max should be always equal to tau y, that means yield shear stress. That means sigma 1 minus sigma 2 should be lesser than sigma y. अर्थात सिग्मा 1 और सिग्मा 2 दोनों ही अपने रेस्पेक्टिव यील्ड स्ट्रेस से, generally tau max is half the value of either sigma 1 or sigma 2. In the second and fourth quadrant, you can see here, where sigma 1 and sigma 2 are of opposite sign, tau max is half of the arithmetic sum of the two, sigma 1 and sigma 2. Like sigma y is the difference of sigma 1 minus sigma 2. Sigma 1 is the maximum and sigma 2 is the. Next theory is the maximum principal stress theory, that is also called Rankine theory. This is the plane. According to this theory, it is assumed that when a member is subjected to any state of stress, fracture of brittle material or yielding of ductile material, when the principal stress of largest magnitude in the member reaches to a limiting value that is equal to the ultimate normal stress, the material can sustain when subjected to simple tension or compression. Basically, the sigma 1 or sigma 2, as and when it will be greater than sigma ultimate tensile strength, the material will fail. That means the maximum developed principal stress should be lesser than ultimate tensile stress. This is the line diagram. It can be seen that stress coordinates sigma 1 and sigma 2 at a point in the material falls on the boundary for outside the shaded area. The material is said to be fractured failed. Experimentally, it has been found to be in close agreement with the behavior of brittle material that have a stress strain diagram similar in both tension and compression. It can be further noticed that in the first and third quadrant, the boundary is the same as for maximum shear stress theory. This theory gives good result for ductile material and it is not recommended. In this, also a more criteria is discussed. You have already seen more circle in the strength of material subject. Basically, more circle is nothing but it is a graphical approach to find the value of maximum and minimum principal stress. So you can draw like this. You can see here, this is the coordinate axis, that is the shear stress, this is the normal stress. We are going to calculate for brittle material, so it is ultimate tensile tension test tension. This is the pure shear because at the value of 0 failure of strength envelope, ठीक है ना, इसके बाहर जैसे ही जाएगा तो मटेरियल क्या हो जाएगा, फेल हो जाएगा. अब ये टेंसाइल के लिए एक हो गया, दूसरा कंप्रेसिव के. Third one is the maximum normal strength theory, that is called Saint-Venant theory. In this theory, it is assumed that a member subjected to any state of stress fails when the maximum normal stress at any point equals the yield point strain obtained from a simple tension or compression test. That is sigma y epsilon y equal to sigma y upon epsilon. Principal strain or largest magnitude epsilon maximum could be one of two principal strain, epsilon 1 and epsilon 2, depending upon the stress condition acting in the member. Thus, the maximum principal strain theory may be represented by the following equation. We have to discuss epsilon max, epsilon max. Again, we have calculated sigma x, sigma y, sigma z in terms of Poisson ratio. In case of original direction, epsilon x, sigma x upon modulus of elasticity. When we go to calculate for sigma y, that means in epsilon y, that means in the direction of y, then Poisson ratio will be involved in the negative direction because it is the tensile upper one, epsilon x is tensile strain and sigma y and sigma z is compressive. Similarly, we have developed epsilon x, epsilon y, that you can see very carefully. It will be summed up epsilon z. Similarly, we have find at one point, that means taking the consideration of all these three stresses which are acting on a member. Now, if sigma 3 is 0 for two-dimensional body, then we can equate this equation and at last we can find sigma y equal to sigma 1 minus mu sigma 2 or sigma y equal to sigma 2 minus mu sigma 1. It is valid for system. Now, last one is the maximum total strain energy theory, that is also called Hague theory. In this, according to this theory, failure would occur when the total strain energy absorbed at a point per unit volume exceeds the strain energy absorbed per unit volume at the elastic or tensile yield point. This may be given by half of sigma 1 epsilon 1 plus sigma 2 epsilon 2 sigma 3 epsilon 3 equal to half of sigma y epsilon y. It has been calculated in direction of y. Similarly, the second equation is very much similar. Substituting epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3, epsilon in terms of stresses, we can find this equation. This is the important equation, and further it can be written in a quadratic equation like this, and this is the Mohr cycle representation. Now last one is the maximum shear strain energy, that is also called von Mises criteria. According to this theory, when a member is subjected to any state of stress fails when the distortion energy per unit volume at a point becomes equal to the strain energy of distortion per unit volume at failure in uniaxial tension. The distortion strain energy is that energy associated with the change in the shape of the body. The total strain energy per unit volume, also called strain energy density, is the energy in a body stored internally throughout its volume due to deformation produced by external loading. If the axial stress arising in a tensile test is sigma and the corresponding axial strain is epsilon, then the work done for a unit volume of the test specimen is the product of mean value of the force per unit area. That is ultimate maximum strain energy sigma epsilon upon 2, stress into strain upon 2. This work is stored as internal strain energy, like a rod when we elongate putting some external force, then this kind of energy will be stored at a certain limit. When this energy exceeds to the limiting energy, then material will fail. When an elastic element subjected to triaxial loading, this is the sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, etc. all this triaxial loading, the stress can be resolved into three principal stresses. It has already been shown, and you can find the strain energy like half of sigma 1 epsilon 1, half plus half of sigma 2 epsilon 2 plus half of sigma 3 epsilon 3, which gives the strain energy in the material. And you can find, this is the very important equation, U equal to 1 upon 2e sigma 1 square sigma 2 plus sigma 2 square plus sigma 3 square minus 2 mu into sigma 1 sigma 2 plus sigma 1 sigma 3 plus sigma 2 sigma 3. This is the very important equation, as the deformation of material can be separated into two separate parts, change in volume and change in shape or distortion. Due to volume and due to distortion, both will be added to find the final strain energy developed inside the material. These are few of the figures how the strain is stress is acting and the material gets distorted. This is the yield surface corresponding to von Mises criteria that we have already discussed. Basically, this is the ellipse that is basically Mohr circle. Sigma y 0.57 sigma y. This is the lower value. This is the higher value. The angle is. Now we have discussed here one more principal stress Mohr circle, and this is one kind of rhombus, that here you can see all these four theory comes into one Mohr circle. This is the maximum principal strain theory, like this maximum distortion. This is the that you can see here very carefully, maximum shear stress theory. It is within the maximum principal strain theory, and last one is maximum principal stress theory. It is clear that an immediate assessment of failure probability can be made just by plotting any experiment in the combined yield surface. Failure of ductile material is most accurately governed by the distortion energy theory, whereas the maximum principal strain theory is used for material. In the failure theory, the most important thing is the statement of each and every failure theory, and where this is applicable. That means a statement and application is important for the examination point of view. Wherever you feel difficulty, you may call me, you may contact me, see further video to update yourself. You can like this channel, you can subscribe this channel to view the notification and further video. I will again upload some more important video of the machine design. Thank you very much.